Welcome back, and welcome to something a little bit different. On Sunday the 4th, we got our first look at NLT's new game, Symphony of the Serpent. After the trailer dropped, I got the chance to sit down with NLT in his Discord with a live audience to discuss the main changes coming to Symphony of the Serpent. We ended up talking for nearly 2 hours about many different topics, including Patreon and the adult gaming industry as a whole. Here is a little segment of that conversation, and I hope you enjoy. You've had the trailer, you said you're glad to have that behind you. How long have you been working on the trailer?
Well, if you count all the building all the assets and stuff, I guess started in August building assets, which basically the trailer is kind of a way to showcase the environments, the character models, the voices, and they're all based off scenes that hopefully make it into the game. Although if you've seen my other trailers, you know that some stuff gets slightly changed and some stuff gets cut. But yeah, it's been a lot of work, and now it's gonna kind of focus on the game engine itself. So the game engine is mostly completed, but there's still quite a lot of work to go with that. But yeah, I'm glad to have the assets done. We've hired most of the voice talent, although, well, and I say most, we've hired some of the voice talent. We still have probably 20 more people left to hire, though, so that is still in progress. And there's going to be a lot of audio editing coming up very soon.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work. So the other games have had voice acting. They haven't had that many voice actors, have they? Like, how many did you have for the Genesis Order?
I think with the Genesis order, almost all the voices were done by unique people. In Treasure of Nadia, there was a few overlaps. Like Emily and Sophia were both the same voice actress, and there was a few others. With Symphony of the Serpent, we're doing a little bit of overlapping. I think there's a couple. There's one voice actor that's going to voice 3 characters. I think another will voice 2. But as far as the number goes, 15, I think, in the Genesis order. And I think it'll be closer to like 25 in Symphony of the Serpent.
We got a few questions on the voice actors. Have you got any returning voice actors from previous games? And is there going to be more voice act scenes now you have more voice actors?
There's going to be a lot more voice acted scenes. Amanda Bancroft from Lust Epidemic, the same actress, has come back. We briefly thought about rehiring for her role, but she was able to come through and commit to working on Symphony of the Serpent, so she'll be back. Lillian is going to be back. Any cameos we have from the previous titles, there's no reason to think that those voices will not continue. I doubt we'll need to rehire for anybody. So yeah, there are going to be some people coming back.
Will we finally get rollbacks in conversations? That's a limitation with the engine, isn't it? That's something that can't be done.
Yeah, it was something that we never thought about when we made the original engine. We might do the dialogue system a lot differently. Not just allow you to roll back, but like control how we store the dialogue in the game code a lot differently too. Because when it comes to translations, we've made it very difficult on ourselves to make translation patches for the games because we never had the forethought to think about having the dialogue system be separate from the code. So what we might end up doing is having all the dialogue be stored in separate files, and that the dialogue is drawn from those files. In which case, we can create a system where you can go backwards. It wouldn't always work because sometimes like the dialogue ends, like the character moves, and then a new dialogue branch begins. In which case, you probably would not be able to go back. But some limited functionality of being able to go back a little bit, yeah. Potentially. Yeah, we had some issues with Treasure of Nadia, I think, where it's like you might accidentally click and like dialogue goes away before you have a chance to read it. With the Genesis order, we added a delay to where when dialogue appears, there's like a quarter-second delay or so, maybe an eighth of a second, some short delay to where if it senses a mouse click, it won't move the screen, but only on an initial dialogue pop-up. And then after that, it's instant. So that was kind of to remedy that. But yeah, the engine was not originally made for that, but it's something we'll work on with Symphony of the Serpent.
Will the game be in 4K?
No.
Is that a limitation of the rendering or the engine, or what's the?
It technically kind of could be in 4K using AI upscaling. The plan is to offer some sort of the plan for a long time now has been to offer AI upscaling for all the games. It's just there's been so many things that have gotten in front of that priority. But the plan is to modify the engines to be able to accept larger graphics and then just use AI upscaling for the videos and the images and all that stuff. Which these days AI upscaling is so good, it will definitely increase the quality of the game. It's kind of on the list of things to do, but it wouldn't be 4K. It would be basically 1440p, so not quite 4K. I mean, technically you could do 4K. I hesitate to commit to anything like that because, once the scope gets a little bit too big, the file size of the game would become huge. There would be tons of rendering that needs to be done. I don't know how well the AI upscaler can go from 720p to 4K. I mean, probably an okay job, but would you get much bang for your buck? I think going from 720p to 1440p, I could commit to that. I think that would be fine.
I literally just thought of this. Symphony of Serpent obviously sounds like a bigger game, so is that going to have more impacts on Android players?
Android players are already experiencing some issues. Treasure Nadia has grown so big that it does not fit on an Android install file. So what we've done with the Genesis Order is we've cut out lots of content. Basically, Genesis Order on Android only gets 4 Kama Sutra pages instead of 5. They don't get the XXX shop. The figure poses are not videos, but just 2D images. I think the Kama Shot game is completely removed from the Android version. What we encourage people to do is, if you want to play on an Android device, please play the online game, because the online game has no limits. You're going to get higher video quality. You're going to play. It's the exact same game as the PC game if you play online. When we try to cram everything into an install file so you can play offline is when there's issues. Symphony of the Serpent will almost certainly run into those same issues. I hesitate to go strictly to an online version where you have to be connected to the internet to play it. I'll probably always offer some sort of offline option, but unfortunately, an offline game has to be compressed to hell, and there's just no other way to do it. Or at least there's no other way that I know of. Perhaps I could hire a team specifically for Android development. If there's enough demand for it, I could probably figure something out. The plan right now, though, and unless we go that direction, is just to encourage people to play the online version. Otherwise, you can play the compressed version, which will be slightly lower quality and probably have some missing content.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed that. Stick around, as I have much more to share in the future. And as always, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.